Hey guys, it's me, the Senile Simmer. Welcome back to my channel. We are Generation 4 of the Never Get Bored Legacy. So, let's talk about Seth Bartlett. He grew up in a house where men came and went, literally. His mom, Kelsey, wanted desperately to be a star, but had some very unusual ways to get there. She started out as a streetwalker, giving lap dances, quickly moved on to the world's oldest profession. This led to a large family full of interesting characters, including a Grimborn and an alien. His own father was her first customer. Seth and Kelsey did not have a close bond growing up. In fact, the only one in his family that he got along with was his twin sister, who lived with his father. This generation's write-up says, once a promising athlete with a rebellious streak, your body betrays your ambitions. You transition to education, finding unexpected purpose in guiding misfit students. A coworker becomes your partner. You have a child, but when the relationship dissolves, you must choose what kind of parent you will become. This generation makes use of the boxing career, the boxing trait, and the boxing lot trait by Kiara Sims. This is Seth. He has moved to Copperdale. The house is by Diwali. I changed it up specifically for Seth. His traits are self-assured, mean, gloomy, and his aspiration is bodybuilder. He begins by getting a job as a boxer and working out. It's Harvest Fest, so we appeased some gnomes and put up some decorations. He made a grand breakfast and invited his father, Powell, and his twin sister, Zuri, over. He declared Zuri his best friend and gave them both keys to the house. Just as he was heading to bed for the night, he decides to investigate a weird light. No, Seth, no. I hope he just doesn't come back pregnant. Hi, this is Seth on his first day of work. He got a promotion. He needs to work on his charisma. He also wants to work out at a gym for his aspiration. We have 3 days till he works again, so we can work on those. He can't help but notice that Copperdale doesn't have a gym, which gives him an idea for a home business. Completed the first milestone, and he decides to add the active trait, which makes sense. It's neighborhood brawl day. Seth is going to have fun today. He fought with Tristan Tribble, one of his nannies, Orion Gang, who used to date his mother, his aunt Alexa, and Trevor Harris. And of course, he won all of the fights. He reached level 3 in charisma for work, completed another milestone, and a jog around the pier gets him to fitness level 8. Zuri stopped by for a visit. Does Seth like compliments? Who doesn't? He went to Fitness Fest at Gibby Point and took a spin bike class. Seth was pretty sure he could teach this class. But then he did some archery practice and decided he's not very good at this sport. After a quick nap, he went to the Humor and Hijinks Festival with Ratna Raha. He joined the pranksters, who of course won, and he reaped his reward. He remembered his mother enjoying collecting the snow globes and posters in the city, so he decided to see what he could find. He found a poster that he knows his mother would like. They don't really get along, but he decides to keep it just in case. He finds Ratna very attractive. While he's not ready to settle down, maybe he should go flirt with her. After a hard day at work, he invited Ratna over for a bit of romance, including a first kiss. Flip of the coin, and he's discovered he's a romantic. We already knew he found her attractive, and now we know she thinks he's very attractive as well. He invited her over for a sleepover, and one thing led to another. Smart boy, Seth. He used a condom. Looks like you learned from your mother's mistakes. Afterwards, they did a bit of a cuddle and fell asleep. The next morning, Seth put up Winterfest decorations. Then he discovered she pried his toilet, chinky little minx. He does not like handiness. He cooked her breakfast anyway and bought himself a new treadmill for Winterfest. He's now already level 9 fitness. Father Winter gave him a future cue because he was on the naughty list. And this is why I don't like Neighborhood Brawl Day, because you fight someone and everybody thinks you're mean. Well, he is, but anyway. He decides that he should fight Father Winter, maybe get something a little better. He won, of course, and got a leaf, a gnome, and a seed packet. He got promoted to boxing level 5. He began building a separate room for exercise equipment and completed the bodybuilder aspiration. For our next aspiration, we chose the extreme sport enthusiast. If we don't finish it, that's fine, but it will give him something to do on his days off. He invited Ratna over. They built a snow pal together, had a bit of a woohoo, but this time he did not use protection. Thankfully, she's not pregnant. The next day, Seth went to Mount Komorebi, but it was such a blizzard he could only get through the first part of his aspiration and was home before 10 a.m. That night, he invited Ratna over to celebrate New Year's Eve with some TV fireworks and woohoo. And he used a condom. In the wee hours of the morning, she snuck away while he was still sleeping. The weather in Copperdale was better, so we headed to Mount Komorebi to see how it was there. Still a blizzard on the mountain, but he did a little rock climbing practice and hit the easy slope before heading home with some bruises. Seth reached a level 5 research and debate for work, and so that's another thing that we can check off the list. After work, his knees are still good, so he goes back to Mount Komorebi to practice rock climbing. And then he decided, through the flip of a coin, that he likes it, which is good. Seth got promoted to level 6 boxing, and he's doubting his career choice, so let's get him a new job as an athlete. He's supposed to quit boxing at level 6 and go into teaching as an adult. He's not an adult yet. He's still a young adult, so this will give him something to do until his birthday comes around. Let's see how far we can get him. He invited Ratna over again for woohoo, no protection. He fought a burglar and got beaten up. Good thing you quit boxing. We've got a couple of days before starting our new job, so let's see if we can look cool playing basketball. It's part of his bucket list. We won. Back to Mount Komorebi to finish up this part of his aspiration. I just noticed how jacked our boy has gotten. It's his first day at the new job. He got a promotion to dance team captain. It's a love day, getting late, and he's exhausted, so he calls Ratner for an in-home date and woohoo with a condom. I love how he seems to be coded to be more careful than any of the other generations. He put in just enough effort to get a gold date as he fell asleep. All right, so he received a level 5 in cooking and a level 4 in charisma, and he has a new outfit for work. New recipe for this generation is the carob coated coconut cake with avocado as the secret ingredient. And if I had to eat that, I'd be mad too. It is 10:30 at night, so we invited Ratna over for a booty call and forgot to use protection. Luckily, she is not pregnant. Your boy is so fit, he can now influence people to gain fitness skills faster just by being around them. After spending time at the gym, he headed to Mount Komorebi to work on his aspiration. Level 3 skiing means now he can go down the intermediate slope. Level 4 skiing, now he can do a high intensity. Nicely done. Time to head home for a meal replacement peanut butter smoothie. His father wants to move in, but it's not a good time, Dad. Seriously, it's never going to be a good time. He got a promotion and decided bodybuilder would be the best path for him. Look at this ripped boy in his new work outfit. It's just like bulging. Off to the gym where he does some mentoring for work and decides he likes pop music. It's finally time to open his own gym. It's small, but it's a start. Level 5 charisma for work. Scott Davis has died of overexertion. And Mabel, Seth was able to plead for her life, but maybe we won't allow any elders to come to this business in the future. Oh my God, Mabel, could you stop? Go die somewhere else, please. Seth got the opportunity to change personality from mean to good, but we declined because that's one of his core traits, and that would change too much at this time. To keep Mabel from trying to die again, we closed the business, only making 745 simoleons. That did cover the cost of creating it, and we can only get better from there. Also, we are now Hopeful Hustle, and of course, we went for tips and splurged on a new spin bike. Because he needs to mentor others for his job, Seth opened up the business and made over 1,300 simoleons. He got a promotion to level 6. His needs are good, so he heads off to do some rock climbing, but he decided he would rather practice rock climbing in the comfort of the boxing ring. He bribed his way onto a reality TV show called Hunks and Dunks. I mean, he only had 50 simoleons and it gave him a promotion, so why not? He is now a level 7 championship bodybuilder. Beefcake boy. Seth needed some social, so he called up Ratna. Ooh, ooh, that was not in the script. I've noticed that every time they get together, their romance goes up, but their friendship goes down by a lot. It's almost like she knows he's just using her. Level 6 charisma. A serious lack of money has Seth opening up the business. We are now a striving startup working on his rock climbing skills until he broke the machine. I don't know why, but he's squeamish now. Seth's birthday is tomorrow. Level 4 rock climbing. So he decides to call in fake sick to work and work on his aspiration. Tonight we invited Ratna over, but she decided she would rather not come, probably because he got her pregnant. More rock climbing, because tomorrow we climb a mountain, or try. Level 8 cooking. Happy birthday, Seth! After not finding satisfaction as a boxer or a bodybuilder, Seth decides to become a teacher and turn his business into a hangout for teens so he can coach them. He starts tomorrow at level 3. Trying to climb the mountain was unsuccessful because he needs more rock climbing skill, at least level 6, before he should try again. Today would have been his first day on his new job, but it is Harvest Fest. Again, he tried to invite Ratna over, and again she declined. So he invited over his father and his sister, the only family members he liked. He set the age of customers for the business to teen and opened up. The idea is that he's now teaching and coaching. Another business is trying to take his customers, but because he's mean, he decided to take them down. It was costly, but it did the job, and he made enough money to pay for it. Ratna had a baby girl named Christy Raha. First day of work, he's one cool Jack teacher. Since he needs to meet someone to marry in the education field, I had him socialize with coworkers. Apparently, he couldn't be bothered, and since it's Friday, he won't have another chance for 3 days. Ratna still won't come over. That's 3 strikes and you're out. So he spent the evening working on rock climbing and grading student homework. He suddenly wants to repair a family relationship, so he heads to Del Sol Valley. But his mother is a celebrity and he can't even visit her. What a snob. No wonder their relationship is strained. He decides to kick over a neighborhood garbage can and head home. But then he notices his sister was outside, so he tries and succeeds to mend their relationship, ticking off one item from his bucket list. Then he spends some more time skiing and rock climbing. Level 5 skiing, level 5 rock climbing. While enjoying salmon nigiri, he watches some fireworks before heading home, having a wank, and going to bed. I tried to make a club so we could meet as coworkers, but there are no single adult or young adult people in the education career, deleting the age and single requirements, and it seems like Seth might be the only teacher in the entire world. We might have to approach this differently. So we try a blind date. First, we have Elena Dupree. He is instantly unattracted to her. Next, we have Zoe Walls, also instantly unattracted. Next up, Letitia Greco. He doesn't hate her. She's single and unemployed. Have you ever thought about being a teacher? There seems to be a shortage. They have romance. They have romantic satisfaction. She's family oriented, lazy, and self absorbed, but they have amazing compatibility. They decide to continue the date at Seth's place for some woohoo. After a quick shower, things are so steamy, Seth suggests back to back woohoo. She wants children. Oh, wait, she's got 2 kids. Dang, never mind. He doesn't want to deal with them, so it might be best to keep looking. He changes from a romantic to a loner. I allow it because romantic isn't one of his core traits and it kind of fits his current lifestyle. Letitia is now an elder. I am glad we didn't have her move in. We call Letitia over and ask to just be friends, and then ask her to volunteer, for work. Having completed his work assignments, we go on some more blind dates. Alexi Friend won't be a good candidate to get pregnant, so we end that date. Alicia Fournier is single, unemployed, and they have romance. She has no children, but she's going to be an elder in 2 days, so that's a no. Seth is not doing well. I decided to take him to the high school. Teacher number one is Drew, so that's a no. Teacher number two is Garrett, also a no. And the principal is Frank. Time for another blind date. Alejandra Rose, instantly unattractive. Wesley Cadenas, no. Christine Cormier has showed up to several of our dates, so let's talk to her. She's married. Okay, fair. Next, we have him actually look through Cupid's corner and he found this girl, Leandra Adams. She catches his eye, so he asks for a date. She's single, unemployed, has no children, barely a young adult, but hey, she's legal and he's getting desperate, so let's see how this goes. She asks to extend the date. Things are going well. And then, oh, we get this notification. This mother died of a broken heart shortly after getting this message, so we need to be careful. Time to bring her home for a bit of woohoo, and then he asked her to move in. She's a goofball, outgoing, alluring, and would love to have a child. Let's get her a job in education so we can fulfill that requirement. And then try for a baby. No time like the present, right? And just like that, we start the next generation. Seth got promoted to level 4 mentor teacher. His father died, so he's going to be a bit sad now. It's Winterfest, so we opened the business and we are now a neighborhood gem. Leandra got a microwave from Clement Frost and she is instantly attracted to him. That and the fact that he didn't give him any presents is enough for Seth to fight him and take all the presents from his bag, which was just a gnome and a soccer ball. 4,300 simoleons is not bad pay for a few hours on Christmas. Seth is going through a midlife crisis and wants to be creative, so we had him practice acting 3 times before bed. He doesn't care if she's sleeping. He's the kind of guy who would wake her up to satisfy his needs. Clement Frost invited Leandra out for night-night, and she declined. Meanwhile, Seth gets a call from Courtney Bates wanting to be friends. Okay. They were watching the TV season premiere, and Leandra couldn't stay awake. When he was done, he shut off the TV so she couldn't finish watching it and called her to bed. Baby time! Seth offers Gonzalo for a boy's name and Adriana for a girl. I do hope she has a girl. Thank goodness. Meet Adriana Adams. Wait, also meet Alexandra. Oh, shit. And Ainsley. I don't blame Seth for running. We put all 3 babies in the office, added a bed, and hired a butler. My butler kind of sucks. I had to bring home Leandra from work to get them fed. Seth got promoted to level 5 department head. Seth hires a nanny to help out, and he just got abducted. Leandra heads off to buy birth controls because she knows Seth will be on her soon enough and they just can't have more babies right now or ever. Adriana fired that butler and got another one. Hopefully, he will be better. Feeling a little unhappy with her marriage, she tried flirting with the new butler, but he's unflirty, so I don't know where that will lead. The babies are now infants. Adriana is cautious, Alexandra is sunny, and Ainsley is wiggly. Shushuby, as the fireworks go off, Seth hugs his sister, kisses his wife, and drags her off to bed, whether to show her love or to dominate her. I'll leave that up for you to decide. Seth decides to get away for a bit and goes rock climbing in Mount Kamarebi, along with a single run down the hardest ski slope, and then home for a romp with the wife. Leandra got a promotion to level 2 teaching assistant. After more flirting, there is no way Leandra will be firing this particular butler. Was Seth watching her flirt with the butler through the window? Way to claim your woman, Seth. I don't think this is going to work in the long run. She just got caught showering with the butler. Seth didn't confront her, but he did fire the butler. Then he woohooed with her in the same shower where he caught them and did not use protection on purpose. Talk about passive aggressive. He, of course, knew what he did and took a pregnancy test. Found out she's pregnant, but who's the father? I could take a peek with MC Command Center, but let's do it through gameplay this time, shall we? Leandra went to a psychic to find out who the father is. She thinks it's probably Seth. According to the psychic, it's not Seth. When Seth goes to work, she hires a nanny and calls up Abel. She tells him she's pregnant and asks him to take a paternity test. He is the father. She asks him to marry her because of the
Zoya,
pregnancy, and he
Jensine,
agreed. Seth came home from work with a promotion to level 6 professor. Leandra tells him that she's pregnant, and he seems pleased until she tells him he's not the father. She moves out to live with Abel in a cute little 2-bedroom in Oasis Spring. And now the custody battle. Seth got custody of all three of them. I was not expecting that, nor did I even want that. He tried to set up joint custody, but she was not ready to talk about it. I mean, they did separate on bad terms, and yes, he was an absolute narcissistic jerk. But girl, you cheated on him. You left him.
Here.
So this is as much your fault as it is his. Seth hired a nanny and a butler, and then he got abducted. Leander called to set up a custody visit. We let her take all three of them for 3 days. My plan is to let them age up at her house and then see what traits they have to help us decide who the heir will be. Meanwhile, we set up the kids' room for 3 toddlers. It's love day. Seth doesn't care about any of that, so when Leandra called and asked him on a date, he said no. The triplets have aged up, but we'll have to wait until they get home to do makeovers. Leanna Bergson called and wants to visit. He's not sure who that is, but sure. One thing led to another, and with that being Seth, that led to Woohoo. I think because his mother didn't spend any time with him, he doesn't know how to treat women. Turns out she's married, but there's no guilt for Seth. She called him. Leandra had a baby boy named Weston. Seth reached level 6 rock climbing. I was going to plan a rock climbing expedition, but for some reason he can't. But he could go rock climbing in Mount Komorebi, just not to the summit. Is Seth pregnant? He keeps grabbing his stomach and thinking about diapers. He called up his sister Lisbeth, who is part alien, and proposed a preposterous rumor and a conspiracy theory. Something along the lines of, yeah, I think one of your relatives abducted me. Could I be pregnant? Yeah, probably not, but I'm glad we reconnected. As part of his soul's journey, he invited his sister over to tell her how much she means to him. He opened the business to find there's competition, so he decided to spend the money on a hacker to take them down. There it is, the official notification. There's a new boo on the way. Babies are home from their moms. Adriana is silly and angelic, and we dressed her in the color blue. Alexandra is independent and wild, and she has the color pink. Ainsley is clingy, angelic, with the color green. Leander called and invited him over to her house. They got caught by her husband having a bit of a smooch. Before Leandra knew what was happening, she was in the shower with heavily pregnant Seth, not once, but twice before he went home. Seth got promoted to lead lecturer, level 7 professor. Time for an alien baby. Say hello to Marina Technician by Seth and Senior Pollination Technician number 3. A couple of days later, Seth aged up Marina, who aged up Sunny. He then headed off to try and climb the summit of Mount Komorebi. Conditions are favorable. Level 1, done. Moving on. Inspecting the next section. Chances of success is high, so up we go. Level 2, done. Halfway up the mountain, Leandra messages that she's in the mood and wants to stop by for some canoodling. Moving on up the mountain. He still doesn't have enough skill to finish this climb, so he decides to explore a cave. And I think he just helped a bear with his homework. He explored a couple of other things before heading home. When he got home, he invited Leandra over for some good, clean adult fun time. Twice. They just can't keep their hands off each other. Then Leanna Bergson called and asked to come over. Looks like she and her husband are expecting a new boo. As Leandra was leaving, she saw Leanna kiss Seth, but she didn't seem to care, so Seth had his way with Leanna too. What a horn dog he is. Seth got up in the middle of the night to investigate a weird light, but by the time he got there, it was gone. Probably just the aliens checking up on the new boo. Seth got invited to the Spice Festival by Carly Sadia, so of course he's going to try and hook up with her. While they were getting busy in the bathroom, he gets this pop up again. Oh, be careful, Seth. But he doesn't know the meaning of careful because Carly is now pregnant. He's going to need a second and third job to pay all his child support. He decides to try the spice curry challenge and fails. He goes from being active to childish. He meets Bailey Vitor, starts flirting with her, brings her home. He's tired, but he needs a shower, so they shower together and then woohoo twice, as usual. Apparently, she too would have been pregnant, but her household was full. The triplets aged up today, so looking at the skills they've gained, Ainsley is falling behind her sister, which isn't good for her to be the heir of the next generation, which is all about being a genius chess player. Time for room renovations and makeovers. I increased the size of the bedroom and added a chess table to see if any of them will use it. Adriana is a glutton, dog lover, and a music lover. Alexandra, goofball, plant lover, skeptical. Ainsley, gloomy, perfectionist, and good. Nothing really leading to who the heir should be. A bit later, I gave them all the mind and body aspiration to see who would do best with minimal interference by me. And here the aliens seem to be checking up on Marina again. Weston Adams is now a toddler. It's Sunday, so Seth opened a business for a few hours. He leveled up to level 8 adjunct professor. It's go to the gym day, and he meets up with Elena Mark. For some reason, you can no longer woohoo and shower in this gym, so I guess he'll be bringing her home with him because Seth wants what Seth wants. And then one more time, just because. And now she's pregnant too. Marina has aged up, independent and wild. Ooh, when did Ratna die? We should invite Christy over sometime. All of my kids invited Brian Shockley over after school, and here I found out that Ratna had a son and Christy has a younger brother. Seth invited Christy over so the girls could get to know her. She's squeamish, perfectionist, and a dog lover. Seth needs logic for work. I wonder if either of the girls would join him. Ainsley did, but just for a minute. Carly just had a baby girl named Sheena Sadia. The next night, Carly called to say she has a crush on Seth. Of course, he's going to ghost her. Leanna called Ainsley asking to come over. So, after giving her some time with the girls, of course, Seth will take advantage of that. And she's pregnant again. I've lost count of how many kids he has now. Is it 7, 8? I don't know. It's Harvest Fest. Leandra called Alexandra to come over, so she helped her learn to ride a bike. Oh no, a burglar! Adriana is the only one awake, so she calls the police. Unfortunately, they didn't come, so he got away with the treadmill, the weight machine, the refrigerator, and the microwave. At the gym on gym day, a very pregnant Elena Mark showed up, so, all three of the girls come home with school projects, so I set them up to start, and all three of them got logic projects. All three finished their projects. Adriana currently has more logic skills. Elena Mark just had a baby boy named Esteban. Why is Grim here? Oh, I think the butler is dying. Well, at least she died in her sleep. And we have a new butler. The business got an online review and Seth makes a plan. Alexander now wants to be a tangerine bear, and Adriana is a picky eater. Alexandra was the first to learn to ride a bike. Leandra had a baby boy named Manuel. Alexander is a social level 10. Good for you. Adriana invited over her brother Weston after school. Seth got promoted to tenured professor, which is level 9 for him. And he has a personality trait change from mean to cheerful. It's gym day, and Seth decides to go to Willow Creek as always. He runs into Elena and brings her home. At this point, Seth is done with everything he needs to do. We're just waiting for the triplets to age up in 4 days. Seth decided to try the Woke Up app and was matched with Carly Sadia. Oh, Seth, not in your kid's bed. No. Marina aged up to adventurous, music lover, and skeptical, and we did her makeover mostly in yellow. Its Winterfest could have been better. Father Winter was late, only stayed a few minutes, and was gone before anyone had a chance to ask for a present. This gym day, he took Leandra to work out. Elena showed up and got all jealous. He doesn't care. I think it was at this moment when Seth figures out what he wanted. They just woohooed on the couch, and of course she's pregnant again. She just doesn't know it yet. He suggested she leave her husband. She kind of agreed. He takes her to her house and asks her to take a pregnancy test. They kick her husband and son out of the bed to woohoo. She confessed to cheating and asked for a divorce because she loves Seth. She then headed to Copperdale to find Seth and ask him to finally make an honest woman of her, even if it is just because she's pregnant. This is the second time she's done this. I begin to wonder, not for the first time, who is the bigger mess here. We sold the business and expanded the house with two new bedrooms and another bathroom, and Seth still has his workout space. Adriana has 2 points of logic, so we're going to go ahead and name her the heir for Generation 5. When asked, Seth suggests David for a boy's name and Carolina for a girl. Adriana is lashing out over the recent changes to the household. Mom and Dad getting married is fine with her, but they brought her brother into the house, and now Mom is pregnant again. That's just too many kids and too much noise, and she cannot wait to move out. Now she and Seth have a difficult family dynamic. The triplets and Seth age up. Makeovers for the triplets. Adriana, genius, chess master, neat, perfectionist, with the chess grandmaster aspiration, which is a mod. Alexandra is skeptical, plant lover, goofball, and childish, with the bodybuilder aspiration like her dad. Ainsley is good, perfectionist, gloomy, and unflirty with the friend of the world aspiration. Because Adriana is our Generation 5 heir, I'll show you all of her outfits now. Our ghostly ex-butler asked Adriana out to the flea market, but she got bored and went to Willow Creek so she could play chess in relative peace and quiet. And then she joined the chess club for school. Dad called and said he found something lame like her. How rude. He gave her some random stuff worth 1,000 simoleons, which will come in handy once she moves out. Time for Leandra to have the baby. As per Seth's request, she's named Carolina. Seth is so in love with Leanna that he vows to always be faithful to her. Meanwhile, Leandra wants to engage in extended woohoo, so he agrees. When it's time for school to start, Adriana heads out to play chess at the park. Leandra got a promotion, and Ainsley is already an A student. Carly stopped by wanting to canoodle, so Seth asked Leandra about that threesome she mentioned the other day. And now Seth and Leandra and Carly are a throuple. Manuel aged up a charmer and silly. The next day, Adriana plays hooky at the chess park again. Leandra tries a new way to teach and got fired for it, so now she's working in business. Meanwhile, Seth got promoted to level 10 professor. Adriana also got a promotion to chess teammate. She hasn't gone to high school, not even once. Maybe she doesn't need it. Maybe she's too smart for high school. Maybe it's time to move out and become a chess grandmaster. And so she did just that, leaving behind her mom and dad and their weird relationship with Carly. This generation may have started off kind of slow, but it made up for it in the middle to the end. Seth ended up with 9 children with 5 different mothers so far. He and Leandra had a rocky relationship with both of them being equally terrible at different times. Seth didn't really bother with the children, and so his relationship with Adriana remained strained. After a legacy of messed up relationships, will Generation 5 be any different? We'll find out when we follow Adriana as she endeavors to become the chess grandmaster next time. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on that, as well as other Sims 4 and cozy gameplays right here. Until next time, I'll leave you with hugs and cookies, and I'll see you all later. And if you've made it this far, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button. You know I love it when you do that. And also leave a comment and be sure to reply. I can be found on Bluesky, Twitter, and Facebook, all Senile Simmer. And above all, have a really great day. Bye-bye.